The original title for this video essay was How to Overcome Your Mortality. As I ran the title through my head while laying still in bed, I realized the power of words. Overcome implies that mortality is a challenge, something that must be defeated or triumphed over. I don't want to portray human mortality as such. How to accept your mortality is a question people might ask at one point of their lives. Death is a mysterious yet familiar concept to many of us because it is our shared fate, and many of us have seen death in our family or friends or community. I first realized that I would ultimately die and perhaps cease to exist when I was 4 years old. This led to horrible nightmares that could not be coaxed into pleasant sleep. I would wake up multiple times in one night and rush downstairs to my mother, who would be lounging in her office and watching Mandopop music videos. I would cry. I had a nightmare where you and Papa died and I was all alone, and then I died. She would stare at me, not knowing how to approach the topic of death with a toddler. Here, wear this TripAdvisor beanie. It will get rid of your nightmares, she lied to me. It did not quell the scaries. I continued to thrash under my blankets in unconscious terror. I stopped approaching my parents for comfort on this topic because what could my parents even say? Don't worry, kiddo, you'll never die. They could not promise me immortality. It wasn't a nightmare about falling into quicksand, as they could assure me that I would likely never come across quicksand in my life, and so far I haven't. I was afraid of the inevitability of death and what I did not know about it. Fast forward 12 years, I think that I've accepted my own mortality. I have lived through little events and big events, whether it be minor friendship drama or a global pandemic. When I was ushered into quarantine in mid-March of 2020, I felt relief. I so desperately wanted a break from the little events, my inability to deal with middle school relationships and its happenings. The pandemic forced me into a state of constant introspection. Maybe it was anxiety and overthinking every little thing, but I felt more aware. I realized things that I did not realize before, like how little my middle school years actually mattered. People around me would forget the embarrassing moments that I used to fret over, and so would I. This led me down a spiral. If middle school did not matter, did elementary school matter? Did my birth matter? Did anything matter? Is my existence insignificant in the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture? It's easy to lose yourself when you think about the universe as a whole, but it's just as easy to lose yourself when you're confined to your own little life and what goes on in it. For me, I found not so much comfort, but acceptance in my own mortality when I balanced the supposed meaninglessness and meaningfulness of my life. I decided that if I wanted to approach the questions and circumstances of my eventual death, I needed to stop overthinking as much. It would only cloud the few streams of relevant thoughts. Separating myself from my thoughts was an important step to reducing my brain clutter. I had to accept that there were things within my control and things out of my control. I could control my actions, my reactions, among other things, and I could not control how others thought of me, how they felt about me, others in general. Trying to control the things that I had no say in would only lead me to unnecessary stress and big feelings. Now that my head is a bit clearer, I can think about why people feel insignificant. Many people come to the conclusion that their lives have no meaning when they zoom out to the 8 billion plus people that coexist with them. Others may feel like they are negligible because of how small they are compared to the universe around them. If size is the measurement of how significant something is, wouldn't that make a whale more important than a human? Wouldn't that make a human more important than corn, a majestic crop that not only feeds our species but countless others? I don't think that how small or large you are should take away from the meaning of your existence. Right now, I believe that our fragility is what makes us more valuable. Think of an orchid houseplant, so difficult to take care of, but so charming to have in one's home. We know that the orchid will eventually decay, perhaps a lack of sunlight or water, it doesn't matter. We know that at some point it will cease to exist. One way to accept your mortality is to balance your perspective of the world. Consider the universe that holds the galaxy, that holds the solar system, that holds the planet that you live on, but also consider your own life and how exceptional it is. You have so many experiences regardless of your age, and many of those memories and happenings are unique to you. You may share traits or experiences with others, but you are unique in the sense that nobody else has exactly what you have. You don't have to have achieved great things to live an extraordinary life. If numbers are the things that make you feel insignificant, such as the 8 billion other humans on this planet and the billions of other organisms, doesn't that same logic apply to the fact that you of all sperm cells were the one to win the race? What are the odds that you specifically will live at this exact time? I hope that this has given you some idea of how to explore the terms of your own mortality, and if it raised more questions, oopsie! I can only give my ideas based on my own experiences, and I do not claim that my ideas are the right ones, only that they might provide guidance to those who wish to find out more about themselves. Adios.